All right, so have you ever thought about funding a business or starting a new business or starting a side hustle or some kind of side business? Many of you have. We've all sat around dinner tables or coffee tables or at bars talking about these ideas, but just don't have the potential funding or resources to start a new business, whatever it may be. A videography business, a social media business, some kind of educational business, whatever it is that you might be, a main business or even a side hustle business. If you're in that boat of you need capital to start that business, using your IRA or 401k is one of the answers. Let me explain to you though. It's not as simple as just using your IRA for your business. Let me explain. If you are looking to start a business, again, a main business or a startup business, and you need $50,000 or less, one of the best places to look and potentially set up is a 401k, a self-directed 401k. So let me tell you how that works. If you currently have an IRA, a traditional IRA, or an old or previous 401k from a prior employer, many of you do. You'd be surprised. There's over 50 million of these old 401ks around in the United States. And there's over 95 million IRAs in the United States. You probably most likely are one of those individuals that have one or both of those things. Let me explain to you how that works. First and foremost, identify that account. Number two, once you identify that account, we will help you set up an LLC. If you don't already have an LLC, you'll set up a business. And once you set up an LLC and get that established, because if you're starting a new business, you absolutely need to have an LLC for lots of other reasons I can talk about in another video. But we'll help you set up an LLC. Once you set up that LLC, as a business owner, you can open up and establish a 401k, a solo 401k. What does that mean? It's a retirement plan for your business. So step one, first and foremost, is identify if you have an IRA or old 401k. Step two is creating the LLC. Once you have the LLC, step three would be creating the 401k plan that's inside and owned by your LLC. And so what that means is you would transfer those funds, which is really step three, transfer your IRA or old 401k into a self-directed account with us at Horizon Trust. Once you direct it into a self-directed account with us, we will help you establish a 401k plan for your business. What does that mean? Once we roll over or transfer those funds from an IRA into a self-directed 401k or an old 401k into a self-directed 401k, this is a new 401k that's established by your new LLC. Now, it might sound a little bit complicated. Let me assure you, it is not at all. This is something we help individuals do every single day at Horizon Trust. So you follow that first step. You identify the account. You create the LLC. Once you have the LLC, we help you set up a retirement 401k plan for your business, for your LLC. Once you establish that 401k, let's say you have $100,000 or more in that 401k, that newly established 401k from funds that you transfer over. You are now able to borrow against, because it's a 401k, up to $50,000 or 50% of that 401k. Let me explain. So if you have an $80,000 IRA, and you move it over and you establish a solo 401k with us at Horizon Trust, that $80,000 transfers over, no taxes are paid, to establish in that account. It's a new 401k with us. And at that point, if it's $80,000, you're able to borrow up to 50% of the $80,000 or $40,000 you will pay, you can borrow against and pay to yourself. That $40,000 is that seed money to invest in a new business. Many new businesses that you're looking to invest in or create are $5,000 or $10,000, $20,000. It's just the beginning principal money you might need to get going. It's some of the easiest money that you can use because it's right there in one of these accounts that might be dormant or non-performing. All you're doing is transferring those funds from your old IRA or old 401k into a 401k for this new business that you set up. You borrow out 50% or up to $50,000, whichever's less, out in that example I gave you. If it's an $80,000 401k, you can borrow up to $40,000. Let's say you have a $200,000 IRA or 401k with us at Horizon Trust. If it's $200,000, you can borrow up to $50,000. So let's say you borrow that $40,000 or $50,000. Now it's a loan that you borrowed against your 401k. And again, we help you establish that loan and the documentations for it. It's a simple, very simple process. And once you borrow that money, you have to pay it back. And you pay it back over 5 years. You make quarterly payments back to your 401k. And typically the interest rate that you pay is prime plus 1 or 2. So let's just say you're paying 7 or 8%. Okay? You're paying 7%, let's say, interest on this $50,000 loan. You're now paying back over 5 years that $50,000 loan that you borrowed against your 401k. It's so powerful for so many reasons. First, I would say one of the best powerful reasons to do this is many people cannot find funding to start a new business. You might be listening to this for the first time. You're like, I had no idea I could get access to retirement funds without taking a penalty. In the scenario I just gave you, there is no penalties. You have no penalties in creating and establishing a 401k, borrowing against it, and then paying it back. Many people I've seen make the common mistake of saying, oh my gosh, I want to start this new business, so they cash out the retirement plan. Let's say they cash out $50,000. They literally take it out of their IRA, they pay 10% penalty plus taxes, so now your $50,000 is really only $35,000 or maybe even less that you start as seed money and you just get banged up. That's not the approach. If you're looking to fund your business, any business, or borrow money for any kind of expenses or pay down expensive debt, this is the number one way that you probably have access to. And when I say probably, over 30% of Americans have these type of accounts, an old IRA or an old 401k. So if you're listening to this and you just didn't know where you could find seed money for your business, this is a great way of doing it. We help hundreds of individuals every single month utilize and create an LLC for their business, then a 401k plan for their business, and then they can then borrow that money as seed money to start their new business, whatever it may be. So if you've got this idea, as crazy as it might be, I've seen them. I've seen people start a cattle business. I've seen people start restaurants. I've seen people start social media businesses, marketing businesses. The list goes on and on. An ice cream store. Whatever business you want to start, this is one of the best ways to access funds. It's just a loan that you're lending to yourself. And what's best of all, what I love about this loan and the interest that I just explained, that interest rate that you're paying back to your 401k, guess who you're paying? That rate of 7%, you're paying back to yourself. So your 401k loan, that interest that you're paying is interest that is being earned in your 401k. So you're paying yourself interest. It's a very powerful tool that people just don't understand. And I get it also. It could sound complicated just the way, and you might have to re-listen to this one more time. Or more importantly, follow us, set an appointment with us, and our team will give you a one-on-one consultation. We'll explain it to you for 30 to 45 minutes exactly how this could apply to you. All we need to know is what kind of account you have, an IRA or old 401k, what kind of business you want to set up, and we'll help you get that LLC set up and fund it, get the 401k started, and get the loan process for you to start taking action and building and creating that business that you've probably always dreamed of, but never knew you had the funding right in front of you in one of your accounts. I hope this was helpful. Click and listen and set an appointment with us and follow me and understand more what you can do with your IRA and your old 401k. It's very powerful and can truly change your life. Thanks.